Melly with the new default picture. That one girl. Who's this? That one girl, Melly. Okay. It's a double honor for the new picture. What's up, y'all? Good to see y'all on the way in. Welcome back to the Sorry Issue Podcast. It's your boy ARP. We are here, champion. All of that, man. We're gonna have a fun stream today. Do y'all see the title? Title says ARP and Marv Won clash on the importance of a respected host in a rap battle. That stems from some of the back and forth me and Marv had on Twitter. Quest had some opinions as well, but me and Quest didn't really have a back and forth the way that me and Marv did. Me and Marv continued to exchange some opinions. And then I did a stream yesterday of really further pushing where I stand on things and showing a lot of footage and a lot of backdrop across situations and battles and face-offs to show the super duper full context of my point. You know what I'm saying? But like I said on yesterday's stream, men are definitely allowed to have differences of opinions, of course. Any person that agrees with every single word you say, or the person that gets along with every single person in the world, I guarantee you they're fake. I'm not supposed to get along with everybody in the world. I'm not supposed to agree with everybody in the world. It's about respect. You know what I'm saying? Difference of opinion. I always practice that in the chat, right? Don't I tell y'all, get at me, critique me in the comments and all that. We just keep it respectful, right? We try to. And for the ones that don't know how to, not mature enough how to be respectful, we got mods for y'all, okay? But salute to the whole chat. Marv is on deck. We spoke about 35 minutes ago or so. We was on the phone real quick just to make sure that we could set up the timing of things. I'm gonna run through a quick about 3 or 4 quick Sorry Is True podcast topics. Got to stay true to the stream. You know, I don't want us to fall behind on some of these topics that's interesting to us. And then Marv is going to join in a drop of a dime. He said, I don't even need to give him a specific time. He said, yo, shoot me a text 5 minutes before you're ready, and we at it. We was also DMing earlier, and Marv said something to the effect of like he loves to argue. Yeah, I don't want to argue with Marv. I want to debate. I don't want to argue. There's a difference. You know what I'm saying? So it could be fireworks when Marv joins in about 20 minutes or so, 25 minutes. It might be fireworks. Either way, I guarantee you, with an intellect like Marv and me having the opinions that I have, I think there's going to be some jewels in it, and I think there's going to be some good opinions that you guys hear. So stick around for Marv joining very, very shortly, okay? But let's get to it so we can get to the homie Marv and get to this tussle between he and I, okay? Where am I starting? I saw this about 3 days ago. I wanted to get this off, and I just kept pushing some of these little smaller topics back as we've had bigger topics of what's going on roll in. But nah, man, I wasn't letting this slip, man. I was so disgusted at this. Guy pulls a gun on his barber in work uniform in front of kids over a pushback hairline. Now, Jesus Christ, man. If you grow up with I wasn't bald my whole life. If you grow up in the barbershops, man, the barbershop is like, it's like a second home, ain't it? Yo, my Staten Island niggas, y'all remember the haircut hut days on Bay Street where like a Tuesday was like a $5 shape up or some shit like that, full cut for like $10. These days a cut costs like $100 plus because y'all barbers is like celebrities and shit. But the barbershop is like a second home. We go there, we politic. Sometimes you see niggas pull up to the barbershop, they don't even get a cut. You see niggas hanging out in the barbershop all day, staying there, chilling and shit. You know what I'm saying? So for it to be the type of place that it is, and then you incorporate how serious we are. Black people, I gotta talk to us. Let me stay on. Let me flush this topic out. It's not just about this footage. Let me flush this out a little bit more. We all got our stereotypes. I got stereotypes that I've seen over the course of years for Jewish people, Mexican people, Hispanics, Black people, white people. We all have our stereotypes. White people don't season their food. Spanish, Mexican people hard workers. Asian people are short and walk funny. Black people, we overprotective about our sneakers. You know, there's a lot of these stereotypes, and some of them are deserving. Let me talk about we Black folk. Our hair, yeah. Serious. There's documentaries. Didn't Chris Rock do a documentary on women's hair and the wigs and the weaves and everything and how deep that shit runs. This is real talk. Women, black women, don't y'all have a stereotype about getting y'all asses in the pool? You ever see the pictures of the pool party? Everybody dressed in their bikinis and all that. Ain't a damn single fucking woman in that fucking water. Every time I've ever been on vacation with a woman, she had her hair braided. Why is that? Ladies in the chat, stop me when I'm fucking lying. And fellas, man, we real about our shit too. We don't play no games about our hair, man. I remember my Gumby flat top days, kid and play days and all that. We spend how long? I had the whole spray, pick my shit out, black fist days and all that. Pick it out, boom, 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 boom. You could take 5-10 minutes to shape it perfectly. Shape it. Perfect square, perfect box. All of that. Put the whole spray on, just like kid in a house party intro. Whole spray. We in school now. Go ahead and try to touch my fucking hair, boy. I got this perfect box going on. You crazy, nigga? Push back my hairline. Yeah, I might stab you too. I'm joking. I'm leading up to this footage. I'm trying to keep it entertaining, but at the same time, you guys know I'm talking a lot of truth in jest. But there's levels, man. I mean, let's get serious now. Pulling a gun, potentially taking a life, potentially throwing away your freedom. Then you got kids in the building. I'm a whole civilian, so I've never had a problem with saying certain people don't belong out here and they need to go sit down for a second. I don't have no problem saying that because that could have been my father, my uncle, my brother. That's that barber. Those could have been my children in there. This could have been my kids in there. It's never this serious. This is temper. This is ego. This is a man's pride. These are all these things that at the age of this man right here are supposed to be in better check. I could be flying off the hedge, but if I walk out and come back with a gun, this guy was arrested too. He deserves to get calmed down. I'm not saying go spend life in there, but he deserves to be calmed down. No, I don't need to like it. Take my like back. You finna do me about what the hell? So assault, definitely. I mean, you get assault just for brandishing. And shout out to this guy right here that starts to remove the children from the barbershop. Love you, man. The point, sometimes guns even go off by accident and all types of shit. Some people don't even, when it's go time and you got a problem, you're supposed to have your finger on the trigger. You know, well, yes and no, it depends. I don't need to get into all that, all the tactical shit around it. But this guy, man, he points it at him a million fucking times. And he's also in the middle of a tussle. God was in that building to make sure that of all these attempts and back and forth in the middle of a struggle, this gun never goes off. And some people catch the, you know, how you got the fight or flight. Some people's fight instincts kick in like, I'm about to die. If this guy would have wrestled back more or went for that gun, the gun would have went off. Somebody could have got hit. I think he didn't fight enough for this guy to not let that bitch go, which it just worked out. Look at this shit. So, disgusting footage, people, and it just ain't that serious, man. And it's one thing to feel like a threat and then have yourself in the middle of a situation and maybe things go up. You know, we've all been there, but the man actually left, got his joint and came back. That judge ain't gonna play about that. And once again, man, you if you're gonna be like that around kids out in public and over a haircut, you deserve to sit down, man. You really do. And that's the energy we're gonna keep over here, people. We trying to live, man. We ain't trying to be around this type of negativity, man. We ain't pushing that, man. Everybody keep calm, man. Protect each other, take care of each other. Real talk. I know I was joking and keeping it entertaining at first, but Jesus, man, that shit is scary. All right, let's move on. Oh, we only got two more. Then I'm gonna hit Marv. Yeah, two more topics. Yeah, we're gonna get to this quick. All right, this was interesting. Shout out to my guy 40. 40 DM me this, man. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to the whole Sorry It's True chat. Shout out to Checks and Balances. Shout out to everybody that keeps me in the loop with the news and everything like that. This is interesting to me. We talked about my son in many different respects over the last almost 2 years now on the podcast, right? So this was interesting to a lot of people. So we have the new mayor that's taken over for New York, right? I think he's on his way to being sworn in. Highest rapper turned activist my son for NYC mayoral team transition. Now, the controversy of this, one, you see it in the newspapers, you see it in the articles, you see it on all these posts online. The controversy of this is my son's background of him once upon a time being arrested for is it assault? It's like robbery of like cab drivers or something like that, right? That's one. So if you're into politics and you're like mayors and governors and presidents supposed to be so clean, everybody around them is supposed to have a clean record, then maybe you feel a way about my son being put on this supposed team that we're going to break down a little bit more too, right? And then the other piece of controversy, I've seen some mixed reviews and mixed reactions, is the people that say, yo, my son, we still look at you as the general from New York. You know, you're a rapper, you got a certain reputation. Many times you've spoken out about snitching. What are you doing working with any political figures or peep the air quotes, people, authorities? I'm going to actually trample on that in a second, but authorities. So I did that. Okay. Stay with me. All right. Let's look at a little bit more context. New York Mayor elect has hired, I hate mispronouncing his name, so I ain't even going to butcher it right now, has hired rapper turned activist my son to serve as part of his transition team's criminal legal system committee. My son, who previously served 7 years in prison on armed robbery charges and several others from a social justice advocacy nonprofit Until Freedom, were announced as part of the mayor's transition team last month. We are proud that Until Freedom leaders have been chosen to serve on the mayor-elect's transition team on committee for public safety and criminal justice, respectively. All right. Let's go first to the side of the people that's just like, yo, hold on, man. My son, you supposed to be a gangster forever. And some of that even stems to what people mentioned to me as far as like, yo, y'all sure we supposed to be cool with this? I'm going to break it all down. You got stuff like this, all right? Anybody remember? Anybody know where I'm going? Let me play it. This was T.I., I think, after he got arrested for his machine guns, rocket launches, grenade launches, and silences and all that type of stuff, right? And this was one of his like 1-800-TIP commercials or campaigns that they had him do after.
Hey, what's happening, y'all? Some people call me Tip, but this is about another kind of tip that can help our mothers, our sisters, our brothers, and our fathers help get the perpetrators who commit crimes against them off the streets. All you got to do is call Crime Stoppers Atlanta. Tips can be anonymous, and there's even a reward. The number to Crime Stoppers Atlanta is 404-577-8477. That's 404-577-TIPS. Channel 2, community coverage you can count.
Okay. So you guys want a quick subtopic? Was T.I. snitching here? You want me to go there real quick? All right, briefly. Why not? Let's cover it. The answer is no. He's not snitching for this. Okay. All the snitching talk that T.I. has argued against over the years, I'm 99.9% sure it pretty much came from the fact that he may have already been a convicted felon. I mean, it's Mr. Rubber Band Man, right? He may have already had a past, but even if he didn't, it's because of the stuff he got caught with, right? He got caught with a lot of stuff that people feel have certain mandatories and whatnot. If Whack 100 was on the scene back then, he would have been going crazy about this every day. No, the mandatories for silencers and for fully automatic weapons and all the type of stuff that he was caught with. But everybody remembers, he didn't get served too much time. His lawyers or whatever, they worked out something sweet for the man. But this is the aftermath of it, and we've seen things like this before. You get these sometimes plea agreements, right? And the judge hands down all different types of orders that could be attached to that. Look at Young Thug, that he just performed in like the front stairs of like the DA's office or something like that. Why? Because he wanted to? No. When he's popping up at all these schools doing motivational speeches, would he be doing that on his normal schedule? Probably not. You know what I'm saying? Like when you see this type of stuff, it'd be part of like the actual legal process. It'd be part of your fulfillments and your plea agreements and shit. And this is one of the things I'm pretty sure happened to T.I. You know, a part of everything that was going on. And even if it wasn't handed down to him legally, then it still probably comes from strong advisor around him of cleaning up his image, right? Because he was a big artist. He was at his maybe rap heights around this time, right? Still at the front of the game, the hip hop game. So this is just one of those things, you know, it's not ratting, you know, if you do a commercial saying, if you see anything related to crime, call 1-800 Crime Stoppers, right? It'd be different if he called Crime Stoppers and said, look, I know some shit that's going on. No, so this ain't ratting. It just looks bad because you are Mr. Rubber Band Man, you's a whole trapper, you's a whole gangster rapper, and you allowed yourself to be put in a situation like this. My son spoke against this. My son was probably one of the stature of T.I. at this time was really one of them niggas in the rap world. My son was probably the only person that publicly was really willing to stand out and say that publicly, like, yo, so y'all cool with this? We okay with T.I. letting the people use him like this? I guess from my son's standpoint and certain people, they look at it like, no matter what, you always have an option as a man. You have the option to say, I'm not doing this, and then take the repercussions of it. If the judge says, well, then I got to tag on another year for you or what, it's whatever, who knows? I don't know what the outcome would have been, but you have a decision. You have a decision. You have the right to remain silent. You have the right to say no. You have the right to say, go fuck yourself. You have the right to not say shit when this camera comes on. You have the right to, when the live stream starts, as Kanye West says, George Bush hates black people. You do what you want, right? You do what you want. So my son spoke out about this. All right. And this is all tying into the whole, if you speak up for street code, what are you doing within certain lanes of authority or politics or around mayors or police departments or whatever? That's the narrative that I've seen, hence some of that side of the controversy. Okay. Now let's go to what my son has been up to. And this isn't nothing recent. My son has been feet on land as an activist for a long time now, for a very, very long time now.
I feel like the culture where it is now, the mindset, what I represent, where I come from, isn't really represented inside, you know, these organizations. And it's not a bad thing. It's just that I feel like it was time for something new. You know,
right? So, and you bring something unique and new to the table.
Yeah. So
right. So it's not so much either or. It's an addition to.
Exactly. And that's what you do. We supposed to stand on the shoulders of our elders. We take what they've given us and we take it to the next level. We can't just stay there in that same place. So, you know, that's what we wanted to do with Until Freedom. And so that
he's speaking of Until Freedom. And this video right here is 3 years old. Obviously, way before this new mayor-elect gets rolling with people that he selects, that he believes possibly has influence or impact within the community. This is 3 years ago. Okay. I got another one. This is another joint that we see my son doing. Feet on Land, once again, to me, this is 5 years ago.
And let me just start by saying that we all know how important the Black vote is in 2020 and for the election. And we all know that a drop in the turnout in 2016 among Black voters in swing states like Pennsylvania helped Trump win the White House. And we know if we want to protect our communities from the pandemic of COVID-19, which has disproportionately killed and affected Black and brown people, along with the pandemic of racism, which continues to manifest as police violence against Black folks, racial injustice, and economic inequality, then we must vote on November 3rd if we haven't voted already. But that is just one step in the journey to Black empowerment. Not only must we show up to the polls and kick 2020 in the ballots, but we need a strategy to remain organized, mobilized, and civically engaged in order to achieve true liberation. So to help us with this conversation, we have my son, the General Lennon, who is an independent hip hop artist, criminal justice reform activist from the Bronx, organizer, and co-founder of Until Freedom, which is an intersectional social justice organization fighting for systemic change and racial justice. What's up, bro?
What's going on, Selena? How you doing today, Queen?
I'm good. We're super happy to have you. We know you are a very busy man. You are literally on a tour right now called State of the Emergency to Vote. You were in Louisville, so we know there's a lot of work to be done. But my son, I want to start this conversation by actually throwing it back to the time you were spending in Louisville.
Got you. That's the type of engagements. That's the type of promotion. That's the type of stuff that my son has been driving years ago. Notice that it's also about criminal injustice. Okay, stay with that. I got one more for y'all. When we talk about feet on land and being on the front lines, it's like Oops. Remember Oops? You know, was joining marches, and he's a whole battle rapper talking gangster shit, whatever. But as he got into politics and as he got into trying to be a part of certain reforms, he was out there getting arrested, getting pepper sprayed and everything. Feet on land. Feet on land. This is my song. At a rally, I believe. What was this for? MLK. Feet on land, and he takes his charge, takes his arrest. I'm just saying. In closing, let's make sure that we understand the context before we give any negativity in my son's direction when it comes to standing behind the upcoming New York mayor. So peep this. Until Freedom, which we've been hearing about, he's been pumping in the videos that we played for at least the last 5 years. A New York City-based social justice group announced in late November that Lennon would lead the group. That's my son. We are proud that the Until Freedom leaders have been chosen to serve on Mayor-elect's transition team on committees for public safety and criminal justice, respectively. The post read on Instagram. Until Freedom describes itself as a nonprofit dedicated to the community, activism, education, and rapid response to tragedies resulting from injustice. That has been a heavy mantra of my son for quite some time. I respect it. So before we start talking about him speaking out on T.I. 20 years ago, before we start talking about him starting out as a gangster rapper from the streets, before we start talking about him having robbery charges from over 20 years or over 15 years ago, the man has continued to evolve, and this ain't new to him. This ain't no opportunity to maybe collect some hedge funds or some, like, you know what I'm saying, some donation money, whatever. This man has been on the front line doing this shit for a very, very long time. And he is one of those guys from New York that deserves his respect. I've always respected him. I've always respected his voice. I've always respected the way he carries himself. No man is perfect. He's had little things in the past as well, you know, that maybe pop up here and there, little debates. I remember his debate with Royce over Vlad and all types of stuff going on. But my son, to me, is a solid guy, a solid man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that somebody like him, you know, is within this type of circle to help push some of these inequalities and injustices. All he got to do is stay solid to the shit we've been seeing him march for, stand for, get arrested for, interview for, preach for, promote. All he got to do is continue to stand on that, and he's good money with us. Thank you, my son. So we're going to put that down. Let's stop any negativity around that shit. And I see you fucking newspapers and shit. The big bowl, the mayor-elect selects ex-con or ex-convict that was arrested for robbery as his freedom fighter. Fuck y'all. Newspaper shit. Newspaper article headings. See what y'all doing. And they can't wait to use the word rapper. Hires rapper. Like the media always use the word rapper so negatively, right? Rapper. Fuck y'all. Fuck y'all. He's one of us. We protect it. We protect him. All right. One more topic, and then we're gonna have the homie Marv come up. We're gonna have I don't need my headphones for this topic right here. Ja Rule and 50 Cent. I see the Marlon Wayans shit. Right now, I don't care too much about the 50 Cent and Marlon Wayans piece. But this one right here, Ja Rule said he's suing 50 Cent for reposting video of Gene Deal telling a story about Ja Rule and Diddy running out of a hotel naked. Matter of fact, let me play the actual shit that Gene Deal said and what 50 Cent posted.
So I opened the door, and the dude said, "Yo, I'm here for my cousin." I said, "Who your cousin?" And he said, Ja Rule. I said, "Well, he busy right now." He said, "He busy doing what?" I said, "He with Puff. They're in the room. They busy. They don't want to be bothered." He said, "Well, I'm going in there." I said, "Bro, you ain't going in there because he told me they don't want nobody to be bothered him." He tried to bum rush me. I grabbed it and threw him against the piano. When I threw him into the piano, Puff and Ja Rule runs out the room. Puff got his towel, Ja grabbing his towel, but they butt the naked. And so then Ja was like, "Yo, what's going on? Yo, G, that's my cousin." He know me well, and Puff was like, "Yo, G, what happened?" I said, "He tried to get in the room. I told him he couldn't get in the room." And he was like, Puff looked at Ja. He said, "Yo," Ja said, "You ain't want to go in that room because there's a lot of freaking going on." So I opened the door.
I got a different topic, but for now, Gene Deal to me isn't the most credible person. All right, I watched him, especially while Diddy was on trial and leading into trial, or whatever. I feel like that was his hustle. He's posting like a interview me, call me for interviews, phone number everywhere. I guess like a burner phone or some shit. And that was his hustle. That's his job now. He's an older guy, probably retired security, whatever. I don't know what else he's doing in his life or whatever, but that was the thing for him. You just see him bouncing around like a Jaguar Wright to me a little bit, so I'll still say allegedly, fuck it. But people that you could tell your job, your hustle is your interviews. And you're willing to be outlandish and say, wow, like a fucking Charleston White, a Jaguar Wright, and a Gene Deal, they all have some similarities to me, right? And Gene Deal is not a credible person to me. Doesn't mean that there can't be any truth to this story. Don't know. Ja Rule, for your sake, we hope not, right? And the fucked up thing is like Diddy's image is so fucked up when it comes to some freaky shit or freak off shit or whatever. It's like you can't put nothing past him. Ja Rule, you hope it's not true. But the real topic that I want to get to here, y'all know how I stand on some of this shit when it comes to Ja. Like, where's the post? Where's the post? Ja Rule posts, I thought Jughead was smarter than that, posting a blatant lie to your millions of minions, slander and defamation. Dummy, lawsuit on the way. Ja Rule, that's pussy shit. Respectfully, I'm not calling Ja Rule a pussy. I respect Ja Rule. But that's a pussy tweet. And y'all know how passionate I get about that shit right there, y'all. Y'all know how passionate I get about that shit. You know what? I'm going to try to spare myself the rant. I'm going to try to spare myself the rant. Let me refresh my page. We've said it before, people. We've said it before. Hold on. We've said it a million fucking times. But it's logical is the point. And then you add yourself to the mix by calling yourself a snitch multiple fucking times. Then you sue behind it. Now, that is what I call the rat behavior. That is my thing about ratting. When you do something, when you invoke something, when you partake in something and then you go to the authorities, even if you are suing, you could hold on. What is this stupid ass fucking thought that some of you dickheads might really think out there that it's only ratting if it's criminal? You could rat civilly, you fucking idiots. You could rat civilly. If I did something with somebody and then I lost partnership, like me and my partner started a company and we started it with illegal money. Okay. And then my partner, who had more stock in the company, found a way to force me out. I'm just making up some stupid shit. Now here I am, I'm not in the company. And then I sue him civilly for the amount of money and then say it was illegal money that he brought or whatever. Look at all that illegal shit that's in Fat Joe's paperwork, yet that is a civil suit. If you're involved in any of that, then yeah, you're a fucking rat. Or if you're a street nigga, you're a fucking rat. Yeah. So Gilbert, you know, calling yourself a snitch multiple times on the internet, and then when people clown and say, okay, you're the snitch behind this other situation possibly, and then you say, I'm going to sue you now, that's rat behavior. It'd be totally different if you got arrested, minding your business, and then everybody started calling you a rat, and you look up and say, why y'all calling me this? I didn't do nothing. It's even impacted my business. I'm going to file a civil suit on somebody that did that to me. I wouldn't have no issue with you. But when you create something or when you partake in something and then you go to any type of authority, fireman, policeman, teacher, mother, father, brother, sister, anybody with authority to say you are wrong and to exact some type of law, especially if it's exacting law. People try to separate civil from criminal, but it's still a fucking judge or possibly a jury that decides. That's an authority. You're in front of a judge. And he's exacting laws on you, saying you breached this contract. He's upholding laws. If you partook in that shit, and then you fucking went to that lawyer or to that judge or to that court, you're a rat. Don't separate civil from criminal, you fucking idiots, because some of y'all called y'all little brothers and sisters for rats for telling mommy and daddy on you, or telling the principal on you for cheating on your tests. It's all ratting if you partook. Pardon the rant, but yo, fucking Gilbert. Okay, my bad, Marv. You are a class act as far as being on time, and I just had to close out that topic. I'm not even going to add my own rant to it, but really what that topic was closing out is I was a little disgusted by seeing Ja Rule tweet that because 50 Cent posted Gene Deal saying that 50 or Ja Rule and Diddy did some suspect shit together and it's a lie, it's defamation, and he's gonna sue him. I'm like, yo, 50 and Ja Rule been beefing and doing shit to each other for years, slandering each other for years. For anybody, either one of those guys to talk about I'm going to court now, I think is rat behavior because they've been partaking in the beef this whole time. But anyway, how you doing, sir?
I'm blessed, man. I'm a little bit under the weather, so please give me a little grace. But once you extended the invitation, I had to take you up on it.
I had to stand on it, sir. Those were our tweets. Like imagine we tweeting our differences of opinions, and then I say, hey man, you're welcome to come up here. And I don't extend that, and I just sit here like this on my own. Hey, Marv, my opinions on my own. That's not right to do. But let's set the table, man. Even before then, Legend, once again, you okay outside of being sick? You good? Everything good? I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, I'm blessed, man. I'm staying out the way, man. Staying out the way.
Yeah, staying out the way. The typical approach for most of us, especially at my age.
Definitely.
You're probably a good 10 years younger than me, but I get it.
No, bro. I'll be 50 very soon.
That's dope. That's a blessing.
Yeah.
All right, let me set the table for everybody that's pulling up. For those that wasn't on Twitter, do you have me on a speaker? I hear a small echo.
No.
No, you good? We're gonna work through it. It's all good. Let me set the table. For those that missed it, Marv Won and I had a nice little debate on Twitter, back and forth, related to some of my critiques related to TBL and the host lack of involvement during the skerfuffle of Cassidy and Easy the Block Captain. I had a clip that came out of my take in that critique that came on Twitter. Quest McCody called my take trash. Marv Won said that pretty much I sunk low for that as a black, or you also mentioned like a subliminal in there about black man. We're gonna get to that too. We continue to debate online. We had a couple words as well, in private, but that's pretty much the premise of the difference of opinion. So, any table setting for you, sir, before we get into some of these questions back and forth and hash out the rest of this debate?
Just let it be known that we are allowed to be at two separate ends of the table. I'm not necessarily looking for a resolution, but there are some things that I want clarity on, and just I'm sure the same. So, I'm coming here with an open mind and respect.
Absolutely, I appreciate that, and I respect. I told you the way you and I have been conversing. I respect it, man. And this is also a good example. People are not supposed to always have the same opinion. So let's do it. Okay, let's go to let's start here then as we bleed into the debate. What's your thoughts on the battle not continuing and those back and forth, those scuffles, the pushing of the hands and the pointing and things not being able to be drawn back together to the point where these two camps and these two guys could rap? What's your thoughts just in general around that?
I think we as a culture, we always take this stance of how much we want it to be the essence or how much we want it to be how it used to be when there were storylines or when there was animosity and you could tell that this person didn't like each other. That's what create classics until it happens. And then I think we want battle rap to be real. And then when it is, we expect it to be kayfabe like wrestling. And when it's not, then the people, then people are like, oh my God, how could this happen? Or we have to avoid this. But like, it's like, no, this is what you wanted. This is what you asked for. You wanted to feel the palpable animosity. You wanted to feel that this person doesn't like the other person. So what he's saying there has to be some validity to it. I think we as a culture can be very hypocritical in that stance. As far as the battle specifically, I was entertained until I wasn't. And I think that's what most people. I think where I took issue with the stance that you took, I think as a league owner, I won't say former league owner, as a league owner, you definitely know the chances you take. You definitely know like you expect a perfect event. You set out to have a perfect event. There are extenuating circumstances when you book certain people in certain matches. And you know that. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you can see it from a mile away. Sometimes it creeps up on you. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean that your end game wasn't to provide the best product. I do want to start off by saying the host specifically is one of my best friends. Primo is legitimately
ding, 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 ding.
So allow me. Primo's one of my best friends. And I definitely took umbrage with your critique.
I know.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely took umbrage with your critique. Because I watched my guy literally claw his way through the ranks. He isn't a newcomer. He's been a fan. He has been part of Jay Black's executive board. He's fostered a relationship with TBL in order to get his feet wet, and in his rookie year, host two of the biggest battles of the year, host two of the best events of the year. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think, and we had issues. There were issues at Apollo between Snake Eyes and Capo, where my man was front and center. There were issues at not Exodus, forgive me, Bulletproof with Coffee and Official, with Coffee and Official, and my man was front and center, and there was no dust up behind that. I think it for me it felt as if you needed something to attack, and the person that you knew the least was expendable in that. I say that, yeah. Look. You can give me the bug eyes all you want, but again, I'm just telling you how I took it. I say that because there was a time, ARP, respectfully, where you were new on the scene. There was a time, you know what I'm saying, where those blue rooms and those max outs weren't the same. This is when you were in Funkadelic Studios, if I remember correctly, when I battled for you. Like, I don't think anyone held your feet to the fire in your inaugural year or whatever the case may be, the same way I felt like you tried to do for him. And I feel like the respected name thing, I felt like that was underhanded. Because regardless of who's standing in the middle, if people want to get active, they're gonna get active. You know what I'm saying? Like they're gonna get active. You know that personally. Now I definitely respect every every timestamp that you gave about jumping in these phrases. Yeah, I got you. I saw it. It's valid. But you know, all it takes is one bullet to take a life. So you know what I'm saying? The one day you don't wear your vest is the day you can get clipped. So I respect it. All those days you had your vest on. There was one day that your proverbial vest, not an actual vest. There was one day you didn't have your proverbial vest on and shit went left. Like shit went left. Shit goes left. Like I don't think I felt that could have been more of a teachable moment. Like, yo, I see this new young brother out here doing this. Here's how I would have played this. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to saying, yeah, it's more responsibility on yada yada yada. Yo, my responsibility is to keep this show moving, especially in that raucous crowd who may not have had the best audio, who may not have heard everything that was going on, and he still controlled that. So yes, I'm overprotective of my friends. You know what I'm saying? And again, I saw that as a clip, not as the entire show. So I'm definitely willing to stand on the fact that what you presented is what I saw, which got the reaction. You know what I'm saying? That's it. That's it. That's where I stand. That's where I stand on it.
Okay, you left me respect, man. You left me with a lot there. I'm gonna try to spin back to a bunch of those pieces. Obviously, the early piece that I enjoyed the most and I laughed at, which was clear to me, and I was trying to cover my tracks slightly in my follow-up video where you saw those timestamps. So I was just like, I could be wrong, but I think you guys know this person personally. So, and that was fucking clear to me, Bob. You know what I'm saying? And you just said, you know, as one of your closest people. So I think we clearly just both admit to that element being involved, and I already forecasted that. But respect for you even claiming it. Let me also speak towards you mentioning his come up and some of the things he's done in the past, right? Now, respectfully, I don't know if it's the glasses, I don't know if it's the change of the fits or whatever. I've lost tying him to other places I've probably seen him. To be honest,
because he's been at your events too.
Dope. And once again, this isn't a personal attack on a man. It never was. Actually, I was using the host in the midst of, if you remember, I know you double back and watch the whole video because you mentioned clip versus video now with me. When I said I used him as my critique towards TBL. Okay. So it was a TBL. If you want to even escalate the word and say attack, it was a TBL attack. And I used him to say, TBL, do this different. Okay. So using him and his past, I want to give him credit for any time that he's been in the fray, which is what I think you alluded to in other scenarios, right? So that's almost proving my point in that aspect. If he was in the fray prior, right, then he understands what it is to be in the fray, or in those scenarios, he must have accepted that responsibility in those instances, in which case I would then say, just stay consistent. Right. And I'm gonna get to you saying the time that I didn't wear my vest, just to also pull on my own consistency. So let me ask you now, when you say there was a time that I didn't have my vest on, what circumstance is that?
Specifically goods and gems.
Okay, I knew that. It's just I just want to see how good of an alley you would throw me back.
No, look, I'm a team player, man. Come on.
Right, you're running Stockton right now for me, whether you realize it or not. I'll take the assist all day.
Come on.
I don't know the last time you watched that footage, but I could literally, I'm not going to pull it up right here because it's a sensitive topic for people involved, including me. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
I'm not going to pull up the footage, but I would literally pause here for you to pull up the footage, or anybody in the chat to pull up the footage. You're going to see a moment in that fray when I didn't have my vest on. And you're going to see Goods go from the middle of the stage all the way to the end of the stage, and then tell me who the person is in the Nike flight jacket that's pushing Goods all the way across the stage. From side to side, and him backpedaling because of the person that's pushing him back. I just want you to tell me who's that person, whether he's wearing a vest or not.
Oh, no. You tell me, and I'll go back and do my due diligence.
It's me.
Okay. So here's, and that's lovely, ARP. I respect it.
Okay.
My only question is, that happened, or you took that stance because what? Because things got out of control. Things got out of your control. Right?
Split moment. Didn't see it coming.
Things got out of your control. Would you say that both Goods and Gems respect you?
Yes.
Absolutely. I believe that both of those brothers had the utmost respect for you.
They showed me utmost respect immediately after the scenario.
I'm sure.
Immediately after. Okay.
I'm sure. But in that moment, things were out of your control.
Absolutely.
Fair? Right. Fair. And you did what was best for you in that instance, what was best for your brand, right? Now, my question would be, later on, I know, that you had very visible, gargoyle-like security, very armed security at your events.
Blue room, pretty much.
Yeah, blue room, 100%. Do you think that was a welcoming environment for your patrons?
Which one?
Any
you saw the armed security?
Anyone where you had armed security?
Absolutely, because the perception of battle rap is the streets, and let me finish. It's the streets, right? It's the aggressive nature. It's within our culture. It's within our DNA. It's within our living habitats. So nobody is off the cuff when they see that. But I do admit that I probably was among the earliest or the first to show that. And we could have a difference of perspective or opinion on this, but this is something that I've always practiced, or I actually preached for years. I've never been the guy that's been too cool or too tough to say we are bringing security, right? And whether it's for me, my brother, my family, the battle rappers, I've seen some of the biggest league owners have security, and they request them stand behind the camera. They don't want the visual there. I put them there. So if anything, I feel like me making it visual of what many league owners or certain people show and let people see if you're in the building that's behind the camera, because I can't let you see that we have security. I may be the first to actually show it there, which I feel has an effect that ripples out and says, we don't play here. They take this serious. Let's rap. Let's enjoy a show. Let's not just walk up in there like this is our living room and act out because it's battle rap and we're an aggressive environment. They treating this shit like, oh, this is protected. Don't play with him. Don't play with him. Understand that he's untouchable. Don't play with this person over here. Show some respect, because we are securing the situation. And I think the fans didn't have a single uncomfortable iota in their body about those security guards that we showed.
So I have a question, and I have a retort. My question would be.
And mind you, we're going to get back to the host thing in a second.
Yeah,
which we're getting off topic. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. My question would be, before you had your visibly armed security, did you take security serious at your previous events?
100%. So the chapter.
Okay.
Let me finish my answer. I'm a complete answer guy. I'm not just gonna give you. If it was just gonna be a yes or no, we could have did this on Twitter.
It was a yes or no question, but go ahead.
If it was just gonna be a yes or a no answer, we could do that on Twitter. You know, we on here to talk.
No, I wanted the people to see me, man. So come on, man. Come on, go.
100%. 100%. You the one that DM'd. You love to argue, so let me get it.
No, I said I'm good at it. I didn't ever say I loved it. I said I'm good at it. Come on.
Okay. Well, to answer that question, you say that you watched the video of me timestamping and chronicling from old school to new school, from club drum days to all the way forward to blue room days, when we had a whole nother level of security, when we're in Atlanta and it's legal. You go back to even the New York days where we can't do that, where we can't have those type of security guards on deck, where we didn't have that. But I showed you footage in Club Drum where you saw security guards come out in the midst of people like Big K versus John, right? So I absolutely paid for those security guards to be there and to help keep things secure. I showed it also in AVERB versus Murder Mook. And I also distinguished the difference between the two big security guards that stepped in the middle of Mook and AVERB's dust up, yet I was first to break it up. I showed that. So I want to fully answer that, but not with more than a yes or a no. But go ahead, sir.
Okay, no. I get it. I totally understand why you wanted to do that, because my question was circling. My question was to circle back to your point of that the sight of these security or these guards gave the impression that you were serious about security. So that
can I answer that? Oh,
as soon as I'm finished. Thank you. So you said that the sight of these people or these security guards gave the impression that you were serious about security. I asked if you were serious about security before, because I know you were, and I know that wasn't a barometer of your seriousness about safety, right? So, and even then you had to make adjustments from whatever space you were in, whether it was Drum, whether it was Atlanta, whether it was however, you had to make adjustments along the way. The same thing that this league has to do, or whatever, in any space, is because you know that there is a threat. You know that there is a threat when you want this street-oriented, borderline violent, intense type of feel, right? I don't think that's a dismissible offense. Like, I think that the critiques weren't constructive. I think the critiques were strictly to downplay. And that's where the quote unquote stupid thing came from. You know what I'm saying? Because it didn't feel like the best interest was in you didn't have the best interest of either the league or the culture as a whole. It kind of felt like, yo, this is a chance for me to show, or for me to shit on one, this host, two, this brand. That was my only thing. And I've 100%.
Marv.
100%.
Can I go?
Please.
Okay. I can go. Okay.
Yeah.
You are surprising me right here live saying that, because we have identified not once, but twice, both publicly here already in the stream as well as privately, that you, to a degree, understand the difference of the clip versus the full video. 100%. So for you to say that now, what you just said, is a head scratcher.
Okay. So allow me to help you. Allow me to help you with the dandruff, my brother. What did you present? You presented a clip. Would you say that clip was inflammatory?
Time out. You're not speaking of facts, sir. I didn't present the clip. I didn't present a clip. I presented a live stream with full context and full take. Somebody clipped it. You didn't see
Who?
that clip. The clip that you and Quest responded to. You didn't see from the Rare Breed Twitter or the ARP Twitter. You saw it from somebody, took the clip, put it up, and that's what you and Quest responded to. Don't say me. That's not a fact, sir. That's 100% incorrect. Okay. So that clip goes up. Then I respond to you and Quest. I come with a second video with a whole bunch of context. You understand and express to me privately and publicly on this stream the difference between, okay, that clip versus, oh, I watched the full stream now.
100%.
Yet you now still get here and say 100% my intent was to take a shot and down the host and the league.
Okay, so again,
you're flipping on me. You're flipping on me.
No, I'm never flipping, but I wanted you to know why I made the statement. The only thing that I made the statement on. Hold up.
Because I wasn't sure. I could be wrong. I just wasn't sure if what you just said was for the clip then, or if it's for the stream.
It was for the clip then, which is how we got to this conversation. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to let you know how
I thought you were still trying to tell me that's how you now, and I was just
not
like,
how I feel. That's no. But I'm telling you how it was presented, or how it was presented, or what I received as a person.
I didn't present it. Okay.
How I received it. I saw your face, and it is an assumption to feel that you presented it. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a fair assumption to say that you presented it at the time.
Why?
You know what I'm saying? Because it's your face. Because it's your face. It's your face.
No. We're talking about the clip.
Yeah. I'm talking about.
Why would you? But why do you have to assume that I presented it if it's not my social media? As far as the clip.
So again, and that's where due diligence comes into play, and I'm very adamant about that. I'm very adamant about that. I'm across the board with that. Me seeing you and seeing you give a thought or a stance, all I think is that this is yours. You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
Yeah, it not being yours, I can definitely appreciate how it may have been spun. You know what I'm saying? But
how do you feel now?
I'm more understanding of the stance. I do think there are some things that
tell me. Let's do that. Let's do it. That's why we're here now. What's the things that you disagree with now that you have not just the full video in the context of the original video, but also the timestamp video with all the receipts and everything that I showed? You're saying that you watched both and you have the full context. You did your due diligence. So now that you have done that, what is your stance now? Tell me my wrongs now.
So I feel that there was lack of constructiveness in the criticism. I do still feel that regardless. I definitely feel that these were teachable moments as opposed to condemning moments. You know what I'm saying? I do feel with you being a league owner and knowing the bumps that can be on that road, there was no grace, especially coming from a space where people listen to you and people take your word not necessarily as law, but you're more informed than most people. Right? I still feel that. I do feel like as a company on the come up, as a host on the come up, as a person who's been there, as a person who's thrown these huge events, most with no hitches, a couple with a few hitches, it could have been, yo, I saw what y'all did. I saw this is where I could have helped y'all do this, or my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it felt, and I still feel that it came from a space of you niggas fucked up, and I'm critiquing as opposed to being constructive.
I'm okay with that last part. All right, so let me jump on the highway. I'm okay with it coming off as a critique opposed to constructive feedback or criticism, because that to me is away from what I have the most concerns on about my type of takes, opinions, or the way that I support the culture or TBL, right? Because if it was on the other side of the spectrum of, I think you took the opportunity to say, aha, or you fucked up, or you a piece of shit, we would have been having a whole different debate. But I'm taking what you said, that last piece, as you think that it came off more as a critique opposed to a constructive moment. Am I misquoting you?
No, not
right?
at all. No.
Okay. I'm totally fine with coming off as a critique, because that was the whole point of the video, to critique TBL for possibly having the type of energy of a battle like that, and having a host that is going to insert themselves into those situations, as well as a critique for Cassidy. Like I said, yo, Cass, one thing I didn't like about you, I never seen you say anything to your entourage. And Easy, my critique for you is I would have wanted you to hop out, because you keep calling Cassidy a pussy at that second location. So I want to come across as a critique, because that's what it was. A critique. Okay. A critique is also, I don't want to say it's a synonym, but it has parallels to constructive criticism. As long as nobody interprets that video as a teardown, I don't have to debate too much. If it's interpreted as a critique, I'm totally comfortable with that.
Okay. So and then this is where my pushback for that would be. A pushback for that would be, and it's super fine to critique. You know what I'm saying? Because we as paying fans, like we have the right to critique a product. My only hope would be that after the critique, again, comes a way for me to help to show you how to build from it. You know what I'm saying? And I do think, and it may be my expectation, it may be an unrealistic expectation to expect that a person who's been in that space, who has made the decision to kind of fall back from that space, as far as, like, you know, actively putting money or investing or events, however that may be. I don't want to speak on your, you know what I'm saying, your situation. But I'm saying, in order to help grow the culture that you fuck with, it should have been a jewel instead of just the dirt being thrown. That's my only stance on it. You know what I'm saying?
Can I see if there's, I wonder if we could get on the same page with that piece right there, meaning that I would understand and even go as far as being on your side if that is your stance from the clip, which we already pretty much said, because the video did pros and cons for TBL. And that's what I played in the chaptered video that you saw. Right. So, and that right there alone would kill anybody that ever put me in a realm of a teardown. And that wasn't after you and Quest. That was before you and Quest. The pros. So if within the moment, before the clip.
Why do you keep saying me and Quest? Your conversation was with me. Questions gave you.
No. But I still have an opinion towards Quest, because he said this is a trash take, and I believe that he was in a similar realm as you, as he responded to a clip and not a full context vid, which is something that you said that to a degree you missed out on. I believe he did the same, but he's not here to speak for himself. I'm just still continuing that opinion of mine. That's why I say you and Quest. And even you said on Twitter, gang, y'all niggas is fucking brothers, 2-on-2 partners and shit, right? And the host we're talking about is your bro. I know, I get it.
It can happen. It can happen, man.
It can happen. Sure we keep it even around here.
It can happen. I come unarmed. I come unarmed, bro.
No, my chat knows I stay on deck.
I come unarmed, man. I come unarmed.
But real shit. The fact that I said that before the clip and before the Quest and the Marv reaction or response or the difference of opinion, I think kills and flattens the whole realm. But the problem there is, and I don't want to drag you for it. The problem there is, all you had was the clip.
No. My initial statement was based on the clip. 100%. 100%.
Understood. And if I didn't have the constructive pros and cons for not just TBL, because it was never about what's the host name? Preem, right? Preem?
Yeah, Premo. His name is Premo. Yeah.
Premo. Shout out to Premo. It was never about Premo. It was always about TBL. It's a league owner speaking to a league, right? That was the whole context in the stream. And then I give the pros to TBL. And then I go pro and con for Cass as well as Easy. All three pieces of the equation. I shouldn't say the three pieces of the equation, the three biggest pieces of the equation. The three biggest, the top three, no doubt, the top three that come before the security guards, the fans, the host, the camera crew, the venue, whatever. The top three people, if they are all on their A game, we all get the battle, right? So it was always about TBL. I showed footage of other bloggers saying, this guy Preem or Premo, what is he doing? What is he looking at? Where is he this whole time? Why is he looking over here? When's it? I showed that, but I was on TBL and saying, hey, TBL, I'm sure to your point, and I respect it, Premo has done stuff like that in other scenarios, but that kind of tilts it for me in that opinion that much more. Because if you're going to sit here and tell me that, for example, like with the coffee battle and official or whatever, any other battles where he did that, then that doubles my point even more than says, well, if you accept that responsibility, then do it here with Cassidy and Easy.
Okay. So my question to you, what would have been an ideal reaction or response from the host, from Premo? What would have been an ideal reaction or response?
The exact same thing that I showed in yesterday's stream that you said was chaptered, that you watched, where I showed the 10 plus incidents on the stage and face-offs and pre-battle of interjecting somebody with respect of both sides, of interjecting, fielding, hosting at a level of bringing in crowd engagement at certain times, knowing when to listen, knowing when to tell people to chill out, knowing when to push people apart. And I will remain here for you. The ultimate responsibility is on Cassidy and Easy. Premo is not responsible if one of them guys spit, point, push, slap, punch, stab, shoot. He's not responsible for it.
Agree.
But I showed in those videos, and also you tell me that he has at other events assumed the responsibility. So I could actually be sarcastic and even say, don't ask me what should I say I should do. I can just double it back to your own words and say, shit, why don't you ask your man why he ain't do what you say he did at other events?
Okay, so then my question would be,
but you didn't answer it though. You're just going question for question and question. I'm giving answers.
No. You said if you were being sarcastic, so I didn't know if that was a genuine question. And also,
it was a debate method. You know what I'm saying? And in all honesty, I don't mind hearing your feedback on that one to hear where you stand on telling me that Premo has done that before, and then answering for one of your close friends that you are sincerely sticking up for.
100%.
Why he didn't interject? Doesn't mean that he could have saved the battle, but why he didn't interject at all that we saw on camera for Cassidy and Easy as the host. That's done that before.
So I do think that is a question that you would have to ask him, and I do think honestly, I don't want to speak. I don't want to speak for a person. I can only give my opinion.
You did when you saw my clip.
No. Hold on. That's not true. No,
it is. You came on here talking about, that's my best friend. That's my nigga. It's personal. I'm about to shoot you over my nigga.
No, that's not what I said. What I said was I spoke on my opinion. If you're asking a direct question about why somebody didn't do something, you'd have to ask them. Would you not say that?
Yes, but
Okay. Hold up.
No. Yeah, I'm answering. Yeah, yes to your
Okay.
point. But also within the respect of you and I are having a debate right now. It's okay for us to loan our opinions outside of ourselves at this point.
Yeah,
So go
but
ahead,
you're
sir.
yeah, no, but you would be
You
asking
know him so well. It's
you,
your best
you,
friend.
you, you, yeah, it
You
is.
brought up
That's
his
my
track
guy.
record, so
It's my
speak
guy.
to
It's
his
my guy.
moment then. Don't
It's
throw
my
his
guy.
track record
It's
at
my
me and
guy.
then not speak to his
Yeah,
moment.
that's my guy. That's my guy. But if you're asking
Right.
if you're asking a direct question about why someone didn't do something,
Okay,
you would
why
have
do
to
you
ask them.
think?
I
Okay,
couldn't
why do you
speculate.
think?
I couldn't speculate to that. I couldn't speculate to that. ARP. My only issue was what I felt or what I deemed was an attack, not why someone did or didn't do something. I don't think that would be fair. I don't think that would be fair for me to try to get into
And that's not even the
the
important
head.
part of all of this, to be honest.
Fair,
It's really not.
100%,
It's really not. It's really not.
100%, 100%. I do think. Excuse me. I do think I stand on the clip being different from the entire video.
Oh, okay.
No. Yeah. No, I stand on the clip being different from the entire video. I do think there could have been. I think there could have been more grace given. I do think the sunk solo statement, which obviously that puts you into space. It wasn't meant to be a
I was
character
going to
attack.
those two pieces in a second.
Yeah. It wasn't meant to be a character attacking. It was definitely as we speak.
Hey, if
But
is this Primo right here? This is
yes,
him?
it is.
It's only right that you are invited, sir. Off the cuff. It's all good. You are invited. I'm putting the link in the chat. If you would like to join, no pressure, or me and Marv can continue this debate. But Marv, I think we're at a place right now where we're talking about your tweet, and let me lob this to you, and then let me get you to speak towards it.
Mhm.
You said, and I don't want to say this word for word, right?
Mhm.
But your tweet, the piece that I took a little bit like, ooh, right? Other than the Frey one, which is incorrect because, like I said, you guys
No. It was very
No.
correct. It was correct. You
No,
weren't
'cause
able to you weren't able to prevent that fight from happening.
No,
You weren't
wait.
able to
Marv,
able to prevent.
Marv,
That's what
but Marv,
Mhm.
that was
Mhm.
never the conversation was never to read when a punch or a point or physicality or spit happens and then get in front of it. That was never my critique. It was always about seeing and then interjecting. So your part of the tweet where you said the fray and I was missing is absolutely by footage that's online for everybody to see right now is 1000% incorrect.
Mhm.
Now let me move on to the other two. The other
Mhm.
two that you started to speak on was the sunk two, and let me just land
Mhm.
this plane real quick. Primo, I see you. Hold on, let me add. Hey, Primo, welcome, my guy. So I can take his salute. Give me one. Yeah, absolutely, homie. Give me 1 second just to let Marv answer these last two pieces, and then I want you to interject and get off what you want to get off.
Mhm.
The second one now is the sunk two.
Mhm.
Now, the sunk two one for me hits a different spot because it's almost like saying somebody went low. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like did something low. And I'm not perfect. I could make a low mistake. I will say that as a man. But for this, my character in question as doing something purposefully to be low is something that I would question and I would ask you to speak to. And the
Okay.
second and the third one, right? Because we got one out of here. That's the last two. The
Mhm.
third one is piece of what we DM'd a little bit and flush out the insinuation for me when you say black man, right? Because there's almost a piece in there that goes outside of what I think my stream conveys, which is critiquing of the three major pieces involved, and you mentioning that I took the opportunity to drag a black man.
Okay.
So I'd like those two from you. I'd like those two.
Okay. So let me address that first.
The sunk one.
So no, the black man shit.
Oh, the
That's
black
how
man.
I
Okay.
that's how I speak. I am
Okay.
very I do love my people. and I try not to say nigga as much as I do. I say legend, and I call people legend. People hate it, and I say black man. You know what I'm saying?
Respect.
Because so I really, really try. I really, really try. That's just speech. That's just
Respect.
speech. As far as the sunk to a
So
low.
wait, so even though that's just speech, I'm just curious, like, because I thought you and I had some type of converse of you saying opportunity to drag another black man. So I'm trying to get to it if that's still on the table.
You're speaking about me saying Godspeed black man in the tweet.
No, I was seeing if you was going to read between the lines, our other communication of the opportunity of dragging a black man.
In our DMs.
Yes.
Yeah. So again, going based off.
I was trying to. I didn't want to say it like that. I was trying to get you to.
Oh,
read
no.
So it doesn't look like we're all over the place with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But,
No. Keep it funky. No. Again, going off of the clip, it felt very incendiary, and it felt very, very.
we're good.
It felt very finger pointish, right?
Okay.
And I did. No. And I did definitely say, or I did definitely feel like, oh, like he's taking glee in trying to shit on this black man, for sure. But again,
in that moment,
100%. 100%.
We're good.
100%.
Respect.
Yeah. As far as the sunk to a low, again, all my initial statements were based on the clip and how it was presented. And I have that's legit.
Respect.
Yeah, that's
Thank
legit.
you for that. Thank you for that. Okay, all right, cool. I think we flushed out a bunch. I'm still here for it, man. You the one that loves to argue. I'm here for it. But Premo, welcome to the Sorry Shoot podcast, man. This is my first time. Remember, I don't think we've ever conversed on this level before. I can't see you. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good. You probably got something going on, driving or whatever. Uh-oh. You're a little robot-y. A little robot-y.
Talk to me. Am I good?
We hear you a little bit clear for the moment.
Am I good?
Let me. There you go. We got you. Yeah. So Marv, Marv is a friend that you must always keep. Okay. He saw a clip of me critiquing TBL at your expense, provided my opinions of what a host should jump in and do at the sign of fracas or phrase, right?
Yeah.
I assume at this point, obviously, because you jumped on this stream, you're caught up of this whole context. What is your feelings towards whether it's my opinions, whether it's the Cass and Easy battle, whether it's stuff that happened and we didn't see on camera? Floor is yours, man. You know what I'm saying? I want to give you the respect.
All right, no, first and foremost, no, ARP, we definitely been just more casual. I've been to a couple straight to it, obviously a couple blue rooms, so definitely supported. Huge fan of RB and just your whole movement and how you brought that from where it was brought up from.
Thank you.
To what it ended up being, man. So a huge fan, definitely been around the culture. With that being said, definitely did take it the way Marv is displaying it as more of a critique than a helping hand, which is probably more than I respect. Your word holds a lot of weight in this culture. And kind of when you speak, and the reason I'm always tapped in when you speak is because I'm almost certain you've done your due diligence for the most part. And maybe this was something that, you just saw a clip and you blogged on, you didn't really feel a need to dig deep in. You were just reacting to what you saw. And, me I'm 8 months in ARP, 8 months into the game of hosting with TBL. First event, I think Marv already talked about, was Apollo. That's 6 events in an 8-month span. And like Marv said, I've been in the middle of 3 of those scuffle ups already at three different events in that small time frame. So 6 events, I think that would put you ARP somewhere around validation, if I'm not mistaken. But 2 years in. And that's not including all your time of going to URL events and being around the culture, so forth and so on.
Certified.
Definitely certified. In those 3 instances that I interjected, one that obviously already happened with a coffee and official, I sensed a problem between 2 individuals and an issue was about to transpire. I sensed that. I sensed an actual fight was about to happen. And no one told me to do this. It's instinct. I think it's just general instinct to be like, oh, I see it. I saw Snake and I saw Capo. I felt Snake and Capo, something was going to happen. Official, obvious. And then most recently at WTBL, our first WTBL event, salute to WTBL, the very first battle, there was a scuffle that happened that I interjected with. So my track record is proving that I agree with you, that although it's important for a host to be there, he is the closest to it and that he should assist. However, I felt in your pros and cons blog, I felt like it came across as if you equated it to the important pros and cons that you listed as well. And I think that's where it kind of was taken. And you was a little more, if I'm being real, RP, you was a little more animated about it. And maybe that's because you're passionate about, because you've been there and you've done that. So maybe I did jump on that pause with how animated you were about it and how critical you were of it. And you almost applied the concept of what should happen right after mentioning me and TBL, insinuating that I didn't do it. And there lies the misconception to the consumer that you were applying that critique to me when it doesn't apply if I've already done it 3 times. So I think there's where kind of my initial reaction came from. And obviously, I'm way more concerned right now about delivering to fans Easy and Cassidy on with Kenny and Chill. Like, that's primarily what's on my mind. So I saw the clips. There's something more important right now. But in my mind, I was like, hey, if I'm already doing it, then is there a critique here at all? Is there constructive criticism at all if he already does that? And then you say, well, why doesn't he do it in this instance, right? And I think if you watch the clip, and I think you even had Cassidy on the interview that I also watched, so I watched the full clip of both. I think he already explained it. It was already quelled. There was really no need. And if you watch the beginning of the clip, I'm trying to get there, but the security and entourages kind of converge. And then it was quelled within seconds. There was no more additional pushing, scuffling. There was no need for me to run up there just for a shot on camera. If you see me looking around, and I don't want to I'm not going to use any names or throw anybody in the bus, but the initial issue wasn't with Easy and Cass. I mean, it started there, but what I thought would be the threat wasn't in front of me. And like, I'm not going to go into detail about that, but anybody
I think I know what two you're talking about, but okay.
Anybody with the building, I think, knows, and that's why I say, that's the past. Again, what's important is getting the battle. And once it was quelled, if you notice, I moved my way back up to the front, and that's when the second scenario started. And I mean, it's just so much chaos was going on that that it wasn't really them that I was concerned with. I didn't feel like they truly wanted, and this is my personal opinion, I'm not speaking for them, didn't feel like they truly wanted to fight. I didn't get that, but I do feel like there may have been people who wanted to in the building. So my concern and focus wasn't there. That's why you see me looking around. That's why my head is on the swivel, because that's not where my focus is at. There's a lot going on in this building. We're in Philly. We're not in the safest block or the safest strip. There's a lot more going on. And again, we got security in there. If you look in there, I heard some people point out there wasn't any TBL people. They didn't see any cam. Here's my question. Name the TBL people that you know? And once you probably get past me and vaguely past me after you say Kenny and Chilla, you're probably done. So there's a whole team. TBL is a whole staff and a whole team. There's plenty of people. They even had gray shirts on with TBL on the front of them. So I think people in the building would have known who they were and would have respected the brand. But on cam, you probably can't see that because you don't even know who the TBL people are. So, but there were people there, even in that clip that you're watching over and over again. And I equate back to what Marv said. The way that Marv reacted off one clip is to me the same. It's kind of the same thing you did, RP. You reacted off one clip and kind of gave a critique of a host without doing the history to see that I've already been there. I will do it when I think the two people that are engaged, are about to fight, it's about to actually happen, then yeah, I'm gonna step in, I'm gonna get involved. But that initial encounter didn't seem like it was about to be a fight to me.
Got you. Got you. Great breakdown, sir. And I appreciate you
Salute.
giving us. Yeah, I appreciate you giving us that intake. Damn, there goes that echo again, but I'm gonna fight through it. I don't know if somebody's got me on a speaker or something like that. Check. I think we're good now. Cool. And I'm going to give you the same courtesy that Marv extended to me, which is it absolutely could be an element that I'm going off of the only piece that I was able to see, i.e., like the clip that came out on Twitter versus the whole context of my critiques across the three main parties. And now when you pointed in my direction, yeah, all I'm able to see is the pay-per-view. We got two views. We got the upfront camera that's in the pit with you guys, and we got the wide shot that they split to. You mentioned TBL t-shirts. I didn't see them. So you automatically trump me there. I want to give you that. I can't tell. As far as the security guards, it's true to the entire culture, including me. We don't really know which security guards belong to TBL. We just see a bunch of black people in black. We know some of them belong with Easy. We can tell because they're the way they're grabbing him and they're with him and he claims them. But the other ones that's there, we don't know. So you are absolutely right about that piece. But I want to add this piece here though. When we say these critiques and how they're interpreted, I just want to continue to double down on this being a critique for TBL and saying the respected host in the middle. Okay. Now you have in the background that you obviously having staying and carrying this and doing this for multiple events for TBL as well as outside of TBL. You know what you're doing and you've done it already when it comes to interjecting. So when I give that type of passion to take, I want to give you guys that as well. I definitely was very, very passionate. And you can see that passion comes from the stream that I did yesterday of laying out all the times that I put myself at risk. And I humbly say these guys are bigger than me. Somebody could hurt me. Somebody could hit me. You know what I'm saying? But for me, it comes with the territory. So I want to add this piece to it if it's not interpreted from any of these streams or this conversation that we've had thus far. When I say the respected person in the middle, let's say Cassidy and Easy give you the utmost respect, which I don't know. I don't know how much they know you or interacted with you leading up to standing in that pit. So, I don't want to assume, but when I say, and there's literally words before you're here with me or Marv's here with me, the respected host or entity in the middle, this is how you guys see I'm continuing to aim this critique, not at Premo. The critique is at TBL. Because when I then go on to show when a known, credible, business tied entity is there, the battlers even listen more. They will give more grace, right? So whether on cam we saw you step in or not, my critique still remains to TBL that, like, for example, I know Kenny could be wearing a million different hats and it doesn't seem to be his style. Some league owners don't even want to be on camera. You got to respect the way that people do their thing. You know what I'm saying? I totally get it. But let's say Kenny wasn't the type or was the type of person that didn't mind being on camera. I believe that he has the ability 10 times more to help get Cassidy and Easy together if he's interjecting the same way he was able to separate them at the end of the face-off. And I gave that example because I'm saying physically wise and physicality wise, Easy is able to push through Kenny if he really wanted to get at Cassidy when they started arguing at the end, when Cass was like, I'm going to bring Papoose. And that's when you see Easy get serious. Like, what? Bring him. Like, you could see all that other face-off shit was under control. That part at the very end, when Kenny steps in, that's when they was serious. Cassidy and Easy, definitely Easy. But Easy doesn't push through Kenny. He doesn't get physical because that's the man I'm talking to every other day. That's the man that's cutting me my check. That's the man that booked me for a multi-battle deal. That's the person I know. That's the person that I respect. That's a big piece of my critique. And I'm not saying, Kenny, you got to be there, because if it's not his style, it's not his style. I just know the impact of that type of person when they are there. If Organic steps in and says, yo, Disaster, chill out. If ARP steps in and says, yo, Show Off, I need you to calm down. If Smack steps in and says, yo, Tay Rock, we got to get this together, right? These guys listen triple the amount. And that's why I say I don't know Premo's weight yet, because I haven't seen that impacted the battlers. Now, as far as the perspective on cameras, there could be pieces that I don't see on the footage. I definitely want to give you that. But that is my critique for TBL. And you being here, or you continue to work with these people. And let me throw this critique out as well. And then I want you guys to interject and get the floor back. That respected entity in the middle as a host, you hosting and doing your thing with TBL, etc., will continue to build up people's understanding of who you are and what you represent in the middle, right? It's a different level when you have the artist dealings. It's a different level. I don't know if you're communicating, shaking hands, making phone calls, talking to, building with these battle rappers that come there with the type of energy that Cassidy and Easy obviously had before they walked in that pit. So that's why I say that person being there, whether you see the punch coming or not, Marv, whether you see it coming or not, that person being there, and I showed the examples, can't stop everything, but damn sure can help. All I see is security guards getting active. That means whoever the security guards have the best intentions for, that's the direction that it's going. The respected entity has the battle completing as the best intentions. He's Easy. Don't walk away. Stay right here. Yo, Cass, don't do that again. Please hold it down. Yo, Cassidy, yo, Hitman, stay in your seat. Chill out. That's what I mean by all of this. And I hope that the clip, as well as even my full stream, continues to get even that much more context with this discussion right here.
100%. And again, I'm with you. That's the objective, right? It was completing the battle, no matter if it happened there or happened later. The goal was to complete the battle. And I think from everybody on the TBL side, I mean, that was 100% the goal. And I agree with you. But again, the clip is almost insinuating as if the scuffle ended the battle, right? Or a fight actually happened. But it didn't. Like, the commotion was quelled. And so I felt like the end result of what we're hoping to gain from what we're saying the respected host would have brought to the table, I think it happened without the host being there. And that's my only thing. It was kind of brought up as if, well, had he been there, it wouldn't have happened. And I don't think that's an absolute. It was brought up like it was an absolute. And I just, in my personal opinion, it's not an absolute if, and I think that's why Marv brings up the goods and gems, and salute the goods and gems, in that situation. But I think that's why he brings it up, because if the respect is there, then the respect was there on the phone when you guys were negotiating. The respect was when they walked through the door, when they should have talked to their entourages, and the respect was when they got on stage. So the respect was always there. And they didn't lose, and like you said, they didn't lose the respect when the punch got thrown. They still respected you before it, during it, and after it, and a fight still happened. And so that's all I'm saying is, you said it like you need a respected host to stop it and stop these scuffle-ups, because people wouldn't do it if they saw the entity there. But that's not an absolute. To me, that's
no.
I
didn't say that, homie.
That's almost implying like, hey, you need a host that's respected, that doesn't mind getting involved in these scuffle-ups. That's just not saying.
Yeah, let's clean that up.
Okay.
Yeah, let's clean that up then. Right here, right now. I want to be very, very clear that not you, not me, not Smack, not Gannick, not Marv, not Quest, nobody. If two grown men want to get some shit off, it's gonna happen. Okay.
100%.
And that's why I gave Marv the example in my stream yesterday. I said, I wish I could have saw that about to happen, for the example of Frey that he said. When it did happen, you saw me get active and help. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
I'm talking about the gatherment, which is the video that I did yesterday, or the gathering. You know what I'm saying? When I say the respected entity, the last thing I want you to do is feel offended, like you're not a man that deserves his respect for the work that you have done. Right. What I'm talking about is, that's why I gave the example of the person. It's night and day of the person that does the hosting versus the person that does the dealings. Okay. Yeah. And credit to TBL. They could say that's not our style. Chill is a whole battle rapper. He might think politically it's not good for him to have his face there. Okay. Kenny is a behind the scenes guy, right? Like, I see the TBL tweets coming out. Kenny's talking to a bunch of people behind the scenes, but he's not as public. Not everybody's like an ARP that's going to get on camera and be, vocal and all that, so everybody's different. Gannick, who's one of the most successful league owners. He's nowhere near as vocal as me. Everybody has their differences. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is, in a situation like that, when somebody has that level of respect and understanding and dealings, I'm not talking about being able to prevent what two grown men are going to do. I'm talking about the gathering to bring about the completion, which is why the stream that I did yesterday is saying, if you butterfly effect all these situations where I step in and you see people handling me with respect or giving me respect, that's what brings apart or brings to the completion of a lot of this stuff. I'm not saying that I don't have a crystal ball, but hypothetically, let's say Kenny is there in the middle, or Smack is there in the middle, or ARP is there in the middle. I don't know if Easy walks off like that with his security guards. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Me
Because
either,
the reason why,
I can't speak to that.
yeah, but I don't want to over speculate. But from the history that I showed in yesterday's video, just me collecting a couple things to show the point I was trying to make, is that that person carries a certain amount of respect that the battle is listened to more. You know what I'm saying? That they'll give an extra, you know what I'm saying? They're not going to run me over. They're not going to run off on me. They're not going to fuck you, I'm out. They don't do that to me. They don't do that to the people that give them or they interact with. And if you interacted with the artists, I'm pretty sure when they walk in there, they would look at you as, oh, Premo. And then when you step in, like, yo, my nigga, Premo's a good nigga. You know what? That's what I mean about all of this. And that critique, I even further dragged even outside of incidents by saying, I don't like that. This is a critique. It's not a tear down, because you guys saw the full take of when I then protected and stood up for TBL. But the critique side, I said, I don't like that they don't put more of a face to the movement with the incredible stuff that they're doing, because that stature that builds up with these promos and with these cards, it gives personality to it. It gives person, and I do see Chill out here when he does his interview saying our job is to do the things that the fans want to see. I get it. Chill has never been the most vocal person. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Like when the fans when the fans can attach themselves to somebody, blame that person, go to that person, I feel like that also engages the battlers, and it precipitates out. That's what I tried to show in yesterday's stream. It precipitates out. And if TBL gives you the responsibility of building that, and you do overtime, then who knows? In time, when you have these type of situations that happen every fucking card in battle rap, maybe you'll have a resume like mine that I showed in yesterday's stream. You know, because you've done it before, like you and Marv said. You know what I'm saying? It's possible, but I'm talking about the now in that take, which is I wanted to see that person that has that with these type of battlers and this caliber of an event that could possibly have helped in that situation when we see it already inflamed. I'm not talking about predicting a punch. I'm saying it inflamed. That's all.
Yeah. And on that segue, that's a good segue, because that's what brings me to the second part, which kind of, I think this is what ultimately rubbed me the wrong way. And it came across as if you're almost implying that they don't already have someone there respected enough, who knows some battlers. You alluded to they need to go get a host and develop him, or have an entity there, like you said, that is respected, and without getting, felt like you said developing that clip. If you didn't, I may have misheard. I felt like you said
if I did
build up or something like that.
Continue. I don't want to cut you off.
Yeah. I'm almost certain I heard that. And if we're not talking about somebody 8 months in as being someone being built up, then who are we talking about? Why are we, we have different roles at TBL. Everybody, like you said, everybody does something differently. Why aren't we looking at the face of who we're talking about? And I think it's because we're moving so rapidly through two major events like this with major headline battles, is we don't perceive it as such, because it's happening so fast that in a normal timeline, like back in the day, six events probably takes 2 to 3 years. And then that development happens over time, versus our current scenario, which is 6 and 8 months. So you kind of saying they need development, you're almost speaking as if they need to go out and get someone different than who they already have to develop. And I think that's where, had I heard what you said just now, maybe you are that person that in overtime 10 years can get there, and maybe they need to coach him up to say, hey, in these situations, you're our face. you're going to have to be responsible for ensuring not only, which my primary responsibility was the safety of everybody in the building, but secondarily was hoping to get this battle complete, right? And why not, you know, why isn't that the encouragement instead of saying, go find someone to be that person or replace him with Mickey Facts
let me answer that, because even speaking with you, you sound like a very good dude. Speaking with you now, respectfully, I don't want them to go out and get somebody else to do that speaking to you, to be honest. But what you just said, which is you said your responsibility is the safety of the people and the completion of the battle. Those were your words just now, right? So that leads back to my initial critique of, if that is the responsibility of the host, I need to see that person in the places instead of where I see Cassidy's guy in the red and blue hoodie, or the security guards making all the decisions like, easy, we're out. Or I need to, and I get it. The cameras don't show everything, to your credit, but in that pit, what we see, I don't see you or the host doing that at all. And you just said those are the primary two responsibilities that you have. So then my critique then would remain that if you continue to develop, and even moments like this, and people continue to see, this is my first time even seeing you without glasses on. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, all right, now I recognize the guy. After this, if you walk past me, I got you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So,
100.
so it's just like continuing to be in that spotlight, assuming the responsibility that, fuck my critique, you just said is your responsibility, and also showing that to the battlers, then it could be built up, provided you won't be a person that's having the actual dealings. It's like seeing what Marv referenced earlier, my security guard that's in the blue room. You know how many battle rappers got to the point where they know him by name? Yo, that's Unc, that's Low, that's Big Low. You know how many battle rappers got his phone number at this point? You know, because he takes that position. So when you see him interjecting at face-offs and battles, and we see, same thing could go for you for Premo, then the battlers build up that respect. But in this moment right here with Cassidy and Easy, in at least the clips or the footage that's presented on the pay-per-view, we see no Primos. Yo, Cash, yo, chill. Yo, Easy, get back. Yo, hell, yo, the money, chill out. Yo, let's complete this battle. What you just said your two responsibilities are that you said, I don't see you performing in Cassidy and Easy.
And I thought I alluded to it earlier, but what it was that there was the situation.
You were paying attention to another situation, but
yeah, that situation was quite. I didn't feel a need to jump in there and act more dramatic.
Respect, but now you're giving me another critique, right? And this is a respectful critique, which is, if you're gonna be there, like I said in my take, be sharp on that type time, because the two responsibilities that you just said you want to have of people's safety and completing the battle, if those are the two responsibilities that you claim, then cool. You could be on point about the other two people that I believe I know what you're talking about, and paying attention to them. But you got Cassidy and Easy in front of you, pushing and pointing and pushing at each other. Get there. React.
Watch the timeline, though, ARP. All I say is slow the video down and watch the timeline, and because
you know what I don't want to do. I don't want us in such a positive live right here to over critique. I don't want to do that.
No, I get it.
Now you don't want to over critique. Now you don't want to over
because there's a point where I feel like, yo, I don't want to, go Pennywise on Premo here. He's here being a good dude. He's developing. He's done it before. His vibe and his energy is that of a good nigga. Like, come on, like, how many times you want me to stab? Like, nah, I don't. I ain't on it like that.
I can take it. I got tough skin, ARP. I'm good.
Good,
I'm good.
And that's the point. And that shit, in that position, you got to.
It's all good.
The last question that I just said, I don't want to harp on, because, like I said, it's a very healthy conversation and debate, and I don't want to over critique you. You know what I'm saying? But I just also want you to leave with that thought of the two biggest responsibilities that you said that you claim, then you just continue to think about those, not just for those two people, because I know what that's like, and it's not easy. I know what it's like to say, these two niggas over here, this nigga Jay Murder's holding a bottle in his hand while Math and Show Off is rapping. Yeah. So this is an equivalent to what you're saying, and what I know is the other two people talking about. Jay Murder's holding a fucking Heineken bottle the whole fucking battle, and I'm watching and I'm paying attention, and Brooklyn Hands is over here ready to move as well. I'm paying attention, but I got Show Off and Math right here, and if they bump or if somebody says, "What did you say?" or whatever, I gotta get it. It sucks. We want the responsibility to be on these two grown professionals and them controlling their entourages.
Yeah.
But that is, and I could be different than people. That is the responsibility that I assumed as a host, and it also is the responsibility that you just say that you assume as well.
100%, man. And that's instinct, right? That's nothing TBL said, do this, do that. It's just general instinct. Again, it's a good analogy. It's a funny analogy, ARP, because
it's a real analogy. It's a real example too. I should have put it in the stream yesterday.
Seemed like you had some conversations, but yeah. Again, I mean, we're in a pit right here. There's guardrails. People don't know there's guardrails right there behind.
Yeah, I saw that.
Freeway. I mean, it's tight quarters. To me, the first thing I was running to the back was, hey, we have to clear this stage. That was kind of first thing. After I saw there was really just two people standing in the middle, there wasn't a whole lot of commotion no more. The next thing was like, yo, we got to clear this stage because it's the only way this battle is going to continue. And before that could be implemented, you know what I mean? Things went where the way
Premo,
they went.
Hey, Premo, let me say this. There's an extremely high probability that you could have gave blood in the middle of that pit and the battle still wouldn't have completed. It's a possibility, my guy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just
real talk.
Yeah. So let's be real. You know what I mean? Like it happens. Even the Frey shot that Marv tried to take before he went and watched the footage. You know, you could give
it connected. It connected.
It didn't, because if it wasn't for the sensitivity of the people involved, I would have brought the footage up during this stream.
It connected.
Yo, Premo came up here, and I think Premo's gonna leave with. I think everybody that's in this chat is like, yo, Premo, your energy, you're a good dude. Marv got dragged earlier though. Marv got fucked over in this whole debate.
Impossible.
Marv got fucked over. Marv, when we get off this, Marv is gonna go replay this before he goes. Let me watch how I look at this shit with this nigga. Why the fuck did I go up there with this nigga ARP?
Absolutely.
Why did I go up there? And Premo's gonna be like, oh shit, maybe I should take my glasses off. Fans know who I am now. Like, you gonna get some more followers.
every point I made had a caveat I stand on. Once the caveat changed,
you shot yourself in the foot a couple times. Look, Marv, man, you're a solid arguer and debader, but it's levels, man. It's levels. You know what I'm saying?
I think your hat is
and on top of that, you guys are getting the version of ARP that is. I I'll put this away. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the version y'all are getting. You know what I mean? Like,
okay.
You lucky you a legend, and you lucky Premo's a good guy, man. Cause
appreciate it.
I could come for blood types, but nah. But listen, I think this is an all in all great stream. This started with myself, Marv, and to a degree Quest, but Marv and I having a difference of opinion, but yet respecting each other as men. And that sets such a beautiful example. And I want to try to practice that as much as possible. You know what I'm saying? Behind the scenes stream, Marv, his conversation between he and I, we held that type of integrity and respect. Premo, thank you so much for tapping in as well and expressing that it is a tough job. You know what I'm saying? And also carrying 100%. Some humility up here as well and being honest about, you know, your situation.
100%.
And I wish the continued building of your responsibility since you're going to be the TBL go-to host.
Come on, man. Hold me down, ARP.
I got you.
Hey, real quick.
It's worse now because now that we didn't converse like this, now it's I do it personally like now I'm screaming through the camera like, get in there, Premo. Like,
Nah, respectfully. I'm gonna be strapped in next time. Respectfully. No, real quick, Chris Unbiased. That ain't no damn Kango on my head, player.
Yeah, it was a bucket. He fucked up when he said it.
Come on, Kev. Come on, family.
It was a bucket. It was a bucket. That nigga pointed at the screen. He said, "Who? What is this nigga doing? He looking
Nah,
off to
that
the
was
side.
funny.
What
That
is
was hilarious. That was hilarious. I give him that. That was funny.
it?" Nah, respect, man. Respect.
Salute,
All jokes aside, man, I definitely appreciate the dialogue, even regardless of where we started and where we ended. I definitely appreciate it. I think it's great for the culture.
Absolutely.
Thank you for the opportunity to come up. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. Hey, Marv, I need you
know.
to stay here for 1 second though, only because I need the screen space. Primo, I want to give you the opportunity to take
Salute.
yourself out of here, my man. Talk to the fans, drop whatever you want to drop. Gotta take yourself out of here, my guy.
Hey, listen, man, we got January 10th, 11th in New Orleans, man. We got the WTBL Round 2 tournament, and we also got another dope card. It's a 2-day event in New Orleans. You don't need to know much. We'll be dropping stuff soon, but I promise you're going to want to be there, man. We starting the year off right. We're not losing no steam, man. We right back to it. We'll be up there, extra security. You know what I mean? Extra swab. I'll do my push-ups. You know what I'm saying? And just in case it go down, I appreciate y'all. Salute to ARP for extending the invite, man, and not even knowing to give me the opportunity, man. TBL takeover shit, man. I appreciate y'all.
Respect, G.
Salute.
Okay, salute. Shout out to Primo. Okay, before I let you drop, Marv, I just wanna tell you, I hate to expose you in this moment before we get out of here after having such a great conversation.
Expose me.
But
Okay.
yes, what I need the fans to understand is the real reason why Marv started all of this is because there's footage of him getting beat up and I didn't jump in. And he is exposed for that right now.
What was this? I'm beat up?
Yeah, butterflies, didn't you, just now?
Oh, I was in. Oh yeah, no, I lost this battle, but you said beat up. I was gonna say, wait.
Hawaiian chick toss rounds at your neck and get you laid. You got something on your mind, my nigga?
No, yeah, no,
I definitely set the chat up just now.
No, Mr. Mills got crazy. You know what was crazy though? No shot to him. That was definitely in a time where I was no excuse. He won the battle. I just wasn't. I didn't have it. I had really lost a lot of fucking love for battle rap. I was really just living off my name at that point. I won't cap. I was trying to jump in fights, hoping that I would be inspired to fight. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, but it was dope because I definitely caught the chat. If you see the shit that I'm bringing up here, they thought I was going somewhere totally different.
Nigga, you got me too. I was like,
you was like, what the fuck? Nah, but real shit. At that time when you battled, I said it then, and I'll say it now. You know, I've always been a platform and a league owner that loved to check the boxes. You know, if I had my way, you know, Lux would have had a chance. All the different times we negotiated and didn't work. Same thing with Surf. Some people would have had I would have had an opportunity to work with and bring to the platform and let them be on a part of the RBE library. And when you appeared on RBE, that was a box check to me personally. Like I got Marv performing on RBE. You know what I'm saying? And I always felt that, and I'm not even saying that because he was a part of the little Twitter back and forth. I always felt that way about Quest as well. And I know Quest might see this or hear this and be like, nigga, we done had some back and forth about bring me over there. You know, I'll take a lot of that blame. You know what I'm saying? But I like being able to have the opportunity to work with the legends. You know what I'm saying? You are a legend. You know what I mean? So that was definitely checking a box for me. But then you definitely woke everybody up by the time we got to that, what was it, the King of the Dot tournament. Where you went insane. I was just like, this nigga.
You know why? You know what?
You drive, nigga. Oh
shit. Yeah, you know why? But I've been in that space ever since. I found myself not being in certain conversations, and it just I couldn't live with it. It was like
people use that as an angle against you, not being in certain conversations.
Yeah, they do. But it's just like when you put records up, like I done smacked around most of your favorite people, like respectfully. But you know, I definitely appreciated the opportunity. I was super happy to see where your league grew to. Super incredible. I was really I was really proud of that. Indeed.
Dope. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. All right. I'm dropping out of here as well. We done with the podcast topics. Marv, thank you for coming up. Great debate, great conversation as well. Very productive, very healthy.
That's all I wanted, man.
I love it.
A little productivity, man. That's all I wanted, man.
I got you, man. You thought I was gonna let you come up here and treat you wrong, man? I got
That's
you.
all I wanted was a little productivity, man.
I wasn't gonna do you too bad. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna take care of you.
Yeah, thanks.
I'll take care of you. Yo, take yourself out of here, G.
Look, man. Salute to everybody, man. Salute to ARP. Everybody in the chat. You niggas are hilarious. A couple people said I look mean. I'm just blind. What was in my mug was tea and Jameson, and I have the water. I don't feel well. What else was said in the chat? Y'all just funny as fuck, man. Support everything battle rap, man. That's it, man. I'm out.
Vet move covering the chat. Very smart.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on.
I got you. I'll see you back on Twitter.
Indeed.
My nigga.
Indeed.
All right, shout out to the legend Marv for coming through, and shout out to Premo as well, man. Great stream. I had a lot of fun conversing with these two brothers. And yeah, what time is it? It's 8:43. Shout out to the whole chat for holding it down, hanging through this. Good one. I would get to the end of the stream right now and be like, hey, Quest, you're welcome to come up. But Jesus Christ, we kind of like just beat that dead horse, right? All of us already, right? So if Quest comes up here, I want to have a different conversation at this point. But shout out to the whole battle rap community. Shout out to TBL. Shout out to TBL for the thick skin as well, because I actually spoke with Kenny about something totally different after my video. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that people at times, even if they don't, are willing to converse with me of my passionate moments of critique, because y'all know I love 90% of these motherfuckers. The ones that I don't, you know, okay? Everybody else that I support, it should be clear. And if it's not, I'm going to do my best to change that. Okay, people? But shout out to the entire culture. We out of here. I will see y'all tomorrow. It's your boy.
Don't confuse silence with work ethic. I'm a boss, making decisions my first fetish. The verse cherished is perfect, that's a reverse blemish. I dropped it, connected the block, learn Tetris.
This is the Sorry Street Podcast. Welcome to the house of. And shout out to the members.